I want to thank everyone for joining us here for the first webinar of this year in 2020. We'll walk through 2019 recap and the roadmap coming up on 2020. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. Any questions that you have, please use the functionality inside of WebEx there. We'll be taking questions at the end, and we'll address those as they come in toward the end of the presentation. From a gift card standpoint, everyone should be receiving a $15 Amazon gift card for the attendance. If you are a call-in user, please email Katie at the address there on the screen to make sure that you receive your gift card. With that, I'm going to turn it over to John McBride to get started with the product roadmap.
Thanks, Keith. So 2019 was a busy year for us, and I, at a high level, wanted to recap some of the releases that we had, just to make everybody aware for the folks that are new to the Green Cloud Nation. So under our Backup as a Service product set, we released the Veeam Availability Console Suite with version 3. That provided a huge cost savings for our partners to be able to give them a single pane of glass for management over their Veeam products. We took that in-house and did that because with version 3, it enabled the multi-tenancy. Instead of our partners having to set up a server themselves, Green Cloud set that up. We've had a lot of great success with that. We additionally rolled out Office 365 Backup in the East, and that provides backup for Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, and OneDrive for Business. Our disaster recovery product sets, we upgraded our Zerto product suite to 6.5U4, staying current there, moving to the latest release, and we'll continue to do so. And we also released Veeam VRAS in our East and got it upgraded to 9.5U4B. And all of our sites now have hardware version 13 for vSphere across our 6 data centers. For our infrastructure, we continued with the upgrades, and we were able to complete the Data Center 2.0, and we moved from previous versions to vSphere 6.5, vCloud 9.7, and with that, we brought Windows Server 2019 support as well. And our Desktop as a Service solution set, we moved from Horizon DAS 6 and deployed Horizon DAS 8 in the East and Central regions, and then upgraded as well to 8.0.1. Under the Unified Threat Management Solutions, we are able to add the Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, the NGFW, to our product portfolio. Under our firewalls, we enhanced the feature set of the VMware NSX Edge, moved it to the Advanced Edge at no cost to our partners and customers. And with that, it brought the SSL VPN functionality that a lot of folks are looking for in previous versions. 2019 was a big year in regards to managed security. We released a managed security product. The first iteration was with bundles. We implemented a improved pricing scheme and quoting scheme through our portal with log management SIM functionality, as well as managed FortiGates as with multi-site ordering capability to add to the bundles or as standalone. Some of the services were focused on the security front as well. At Green Cloud had a lot of success to our partners for security was the option for penetration testing, risk assessments, incident response, as well as Fortinet training for partners and customers that had that specific need. As we move into 2020, I want to discuss a high-level roadmap with you all to let you know some of the things that are in store. Under our Backup as a Service, we're going to look toward more automated provisioning across all of our sites. Several folks that had taken advantage of that in some of our legacy sites, and you'll see that moving to all of the sites for BAS. You also see us focusing and consolidating our East and our West regions for that solution set. And we will work on delivering a BEAM BDR bundle that will be a managed product for our partners that will be able to deliver that, to give them another option under the backup as a service. For DRAS, you'll continue to see upgrades in the code, meeting our commitments there. We'll go to a 7.x release in Zerto. We'll also look at implementing as another option for disaster recovery the VMware solution. You'll see 6.7 support. Under infrastructure, you'll see that vSphere 6.7 move to all regions from 6.5. We'll be looking at the central point of management support within the infrastructure and a large move to vCloud Director 10.0. For desktop as a service, moving from, as we mentioned, Horizon DAS 6 to Horizon DAS 8 is opening up Windows 10 support for static desktops. You'll see that in our central and eastern regions. We'll also be able to deliver some enhanced dynamic desktops, which will include things like app volumes, UEM, as well as fast close. Under managed security, we're going to build upon the solution sets that we had. So we had standard bundles. We'll be moving to customized bundles that you can order through our portal, as well as a la carte items. So if you have several different security products already in your portfolio that you offer to your customer base, you'll be able to select a la carte items to round out that suite. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Joe Phillips, our VP of Information Systems.
Thank you, John. In 2019, I had the group's network operations and engineering. So I'm going to review what we were able to accomplish this past year and then cover a few of the high-level goals for 2020. So initially, the first thing we did was took a hard look at what the Network Operations Center was doing on a day-to-day basis in concert with our engineering and architecture functions. And we split those up to align a better focus for proactive versus reactive. And you may not have seen this directly, but our goal was to decrease response time to incidents, as well as a renewed focus on projects. Along those lines, we were able to finish the big Atlanta infrastructure redesign. That's the Design 2.0 that John mentioned. We introduced a new facilities engineer role. This is a traveling role that moves to each of our data center locations. This was new for us and has helped us decrease our response time to on-site requests, as well as increase our precision for audits and inventory management. As John mentioned, we did complete some major infrastructure updates. We did this in the third and fourth quarters of 2019. The results of these projects was standardization across all of our data centers and a uniform look at each of the supported versions for our major systems. We also began looking at a new data center in Phoenix. In the fourth quarter, we completed the initial build-out of that infrastructure, and we also added some additional backbone network capabilities. We will be moving from the current Phoenix data center into a new center coming up in the first quarter of 2020. From a compliance standpoint, this is an area that also falls under my groups. We updated our SOC 2 Type 2 report for the reporting period all of 2019 and into the first quarter of 2019. All of 2018 and the first quarter of 2019. The reason why that's important to bring up is because we will be renewing that report starting in April. So if you are looking for an updated SOC 2 Type 2, expect that in the second quarter to be delivered in the official format. One big item that we accomplished in 2019 for compliance as well is we obtain a SOC 3 report, which is the public version of the SOC 2 Type 2. This is available on our website at all times under gogreencloud.com/policies. So looking forward into 2020, from an engineering architecture perspective, we are going to move to a twice annual upgrade cadence so that there's a better plan and forward look for each of our major supporting systems. So in Q1, as John mentioned, we'll be moving ESXi up to 6.7.3, vCloud Director to 10, NSX to 6.4, Zerto to 7, and Veeam to 10. You can expect now that these upgrades will be every first quarter and every third quarter going forward. As I mentioned, we'll be opening the new Phoenix Center to new provisioning, and we'll begin the migration planning from the old data center to the new data center. We will continue to add additional network backbone links to add resiliency and capacity. And last but certainly not least, we're going to continue on with our projects of moving from spinning disk storage to all flash storage for our production workloads, primarily IaaS and DaaS services. Going forward in 2020, our internal systems development and integrations teams will also be working with me. And one big goal we're going to have is enhancing our internal configuration management system, sometimes referred to as a CMDB. The efforts here are to increase our precision internally, and the results for you as partners will be higher precision status page notifications. In other words, our end goal in 2020 is to ensure that you are only notified of an incident if it impacts you directly. Along those lines, we're going to continue working on our automations for our partner portal provisioning. This just means faster delivery times for your orders that you place through our portal. As I mentioned with compliance, we'll continue on with our SOC 2 and SOC 3. We're also going to be adding some additional collateral and enhancing the existing collateral that touches on our compliance areas so that we can address the more common questions that you and your end customers have. Lastly, along with our SOC 2 review, we're going to be coupling in a Cloud Security Alliance STAR review, which maps to a document called the Cloud Controls Matrix, which will be very useful to address common questions that come out regarding NIST, ISO, HIPAA. There's a mapping between each of those certifications that we'll be able to address specifically with this Cloud Security Alliance review. So look forward to that in 2020. And last but not least, we will be renewing our PCI DSS in all sites. So that's it for me. I'll go ahead and hand it over to JP Phillips.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate everybody jumping on. Just to kind of dive into my section, many of you all ask, where do we go throughout the year? Who does what within the sales organization? And more importantly, how do we actually do it? So let's go through this. Where did we end up going this past year? Well, we attend a lot of, as you can imagine, we're channel only in our sales approach, so we go to a lot of channel only shows and conferences, etc. So we went to Channel Partners out in Las Vegas. Many of you know that we are very much entrenched in the ConnectWise Evolve community. So we attend quarterly peer groups that literally take us to each corner of the U.S. DattoCon obviously is a great platform for Green Cloud and its partners. So we attended there in San Diego. Once again, from a quarterly meeting perspective in the peer group community as it relates to the MSP channel, we attended Robin Robinson, of course, the largest MSP trade show that's out there, ConnectWise's IT Nation. And in September, we had the opportunity to attend GlueX. So those of you who possibly do not know who IT Glue is, this would be their conference, and they are a great document management organization. And as everybody on the call knows, we got to go see a lot of partners at your offices this year, and many of you all will recognize a lot of names on this slide. The question comes up, who's in the sales organization? And if you can can imagine if you're a partner of ours, you probably know who your channel manager is, and you probably know a handful of support people. But to kind of give you all the lay of the land, we have 6 channel managers here. We have 3 sales development reps and 3 account executives that are all part of the sales engine. And the internal folks, the sales development reps and the account executives are managed by Kenneth Woody. So you probably have heard and spoken to many of these individuals, even though you may not see them in your offices or at conferences from time to time. And obviously, my organization, marketing, and partner support all roll up to Charles Hauser. So we're all in the same all in the same wheelhouse, so to speak. So we all know what we are all doing at any given step. Now, partner recruitment, just to share some stats, we constantly are asked the question, well, how many people do you onboard annually? How many partners total do you have? What does the overall Green Cloud picture look like? So to give you all a little picture to help paint it for you, we onboarded 59 new partners last year. We had work based on the amount of conferences and trade shows that we went to. We developed over 1,100 lead opportunities, and keep in mind, we're channel only in our sales approach, so these are 1,100 plus new partner opportunities, not necessarily end user opportunities. We promoted one of our best account executives to be a lead on the account executive and team, Sylvanus Mensah, which many of you on the call are very familiar with. And then we promoted Colin Young to be one of our account managers, so he also serves as channel manager for some, all of which equated to a very positive, is going to equate to a very positive 2020. So as many of you all know, in the sales world, you don't have a funnel of partners, you can't obviously let those fall out of the bottom. A lot of times when I'm in each of your markets, people ask, well, how many partners do you have in my town? And this is a great map. This is a good representation as far as who we have and where. But as you can see at the very top, we have 650-ish partners spread throughout the U.S. And as I've always said, when I'm in your offices, you know, we love to have everybody's business, but we don't want to have everybody's business in every respective market. And that is obviously by design, so we can come into your conference rooms, you can trust in us, and you can take our products, put it on your paper, white label it accordingly. So from a 2020 perspective, just to give everybody a little insight, many of you are going to be reached out to by your respective channel managers for goal setting meetings, QBRs. We're expanding our peer group affiliations more so than what we did in 2019 and 2018. We're going to drive activity deeper into the partner community with respect to each of your organizations. So obviously you're going to be hearing from our channel managers and account managers. And in every one of your partner bases, obviously, at the end of the day, we're here to serve you and your end users. Many of you all have attended our weekly Q&A calls. So we have two people here at Green Cloud, Luke Mangum and Rance Smith, have a weekly cadence call, and it is literally designed for you, the partner community, to come in and ask anything and everything that's on your mind. It may be Green Cloud specific, or it may be industry specific. We just welcome the time that we can spend with you. For those of you all who would like more information, obviously, on this, who may or may not know about that, please, you can type in the Q&A chat session of this or ask your respective channel managers. We will be doing a lot of partner-focused webinars this year, just like we did in 2019. In 2019, we did 6+ webinars. You should probably anticipate that as well as our continuing marketing support efforts, right? Many of you all on the bridge know that we do collateral rebranding, we do campaign support, and what that means is you all have the ability to take our content, you can use it as you wish through campaigns, you can ask us to help with that. You can ask us with rebranding of documents or just content that you can take and do as you see fit. And then, of course, how we help you all sponsor a lot of your end-user focused sessions and meetings is through our MDF fund. That is an accrual-based program, and if you would like more information on that, obviously we'll be more than happy to share that with you. You can reach out to your channel managers or set up a time. We can have a deeper discussion over that as well. And let's not forget, coming up here at I guess it's mid Q2, or at the end of Q2 rather, May 17th through 19th in Greenville, South Carolina, we are going to do our partner summit again. And just to kind of elaborate on that, last year it was a smaller version of this, but everybody loved how we ended it, and that was with a BMW driving experience. For those of you all who know Greenville, we are fortunate enough to have BMW North America right in our backyard, and so we took everybody there. This year we're going to have that as well as some other options, as well as industry executives, thought leadership individuals as well speaking, and we will have several breakout sessions, both sales tracks, technical tracks. So be on the lookout for that as over the next couple weeks. With that said, open it up, or ask Keith to open it up for questions, and turn over to you, Keith.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the questions that have come in. If anyone has any particular questions, don't forget to submit them through the app there down in the lower right-hand corner of the WebEx panel.
I just got a text from somebody, and they did ask a little bit more about how this partner could leverage more of the MDF funds available to them at Green Cloud. What I would say for everybody or anybody that's on this call, if you'd like more information, I think the most efficient way to do it, as it would translate to your business and obviously the accrual, reach out to your channel manager, let them coordinate a call with our marketing team, and they can facilitate.
Okay. With that, I appreciate everyone attending today. Remember, if you were a call-in user, please email Katie at the address on the screen there for your gift card so that we know who you are. And with that, we'll wrap up, and I appreciate everyone attending today, and look forward to the next one.